And welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You, Get Off My Lawn. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet, onto the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. If you're a first-time viewer, we do a lot of painting talk as well as a lot of what's under the sun. So, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. And of course, if you're not watching this live, you can also send your questions to Kris at wayofthebrush.com. It is in the description below, as well as a link to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness has links for all the social medias, as well as a link for the Discord. Discord's been fantastic. Join us on Discord. We have the conversation rolling all day, every day, all the time. Various topics for you to jump in on and, voice your concerns or what have you. Also at wayofthebrush.com is a link for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world? They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. Tasteful, of course, always. I must include that. It's got to be a little asterisk beside that. Tasteful. A tasteful photo. And the big one, wayofthebrush.com also has a link for Patreon support. Independent. This is all I do nowadays. And so I need your support. And so if you're considering monetary support, click the Patreon link. I have varying levels of support from $1 to $100. And today I'm going to be doing a Patreon giveaway. So everybody who supports at non-metallic metal monkey and shiny monkey, you're automatically already entered in for the draw. So no biggie. And so whoever wins today, I'll be sending a message saying, obviously I need your address because I just checked my little listings there. And even you, Ruben, you didn't put your information in there. And I've been bugging all my patrons to put their information in so I can send off dice because the varying tiers also have dice. So Monday I'm planning to send out another batch of dice. So yeah, everybody's got to get their information into me. If you're not able to support monetarily, thumbing up the video, liking, commenting, subscribing, following, and sharing the video all help as well. In fact, sharing is a big one, and liking, commenting on these videos, sharing your thoughts and feelings on these videos helps as well. Huge. It's a huge help. So even it just takes a couple clicks of a button and you're helping me out tremendously. Can't remember the rest of the spiel. Oh, right. Big thank you to Carl, a.k.a. Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. Oh, I forgot to turn this on. There we go. Now we can see what everybody's saying. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. So check him out if you love yourself beer and Blood Bowl. Not at the same time, because sometimes when you have too many beers, then there's not enough Blood Bowl. And then sometimes there's a lot of Blood Bowl and not enough beers. It's a very vicious cycle, I think. Anywho. And of course, a big thank you to my brother, Evan, for creating for creating the intro music that plays during the intro. And did I say thank you to Carl for the email jingles? That's why we always say thank you to Carl. I'm messing this all up. I haven't had enough coffee. Need more coffee. That's better. Yeah, so we're going to do a giveaway today. That's the whole point of the show today. Of course, other than the usual, gibbly-gook that we talk about. And so, yeah, it's the usual thing. It's a normal Saturday, the sun is kind of shining. A little bit of snow on the ground, so in my parts anyway. Kevin Cabal, hello, happening hobbyists, and happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. TH, is this the Money Residence? The Money Residence? Hi, everyone. Is this the Money Residence? I don't get it. I don't get the reference. Dark Commission, hi, Kris and Monkeys. Happy Saturday. TH, is this the Monkey Residence? Oh, the Monkey Residence. Hi, everyone. I get that. Is this the Monkey Residence? This is the residence of monkeys. Talentator. Sup, y'all? Sup? TH, I mean, hi, everyone. Johnny's Chop Shop, Monkey Rebellion starts. Nathaniel, greetings, Kris and fellow monkeys. Anthony B, Shotgun Beers. I know, I'm going to have to just do a video clip So anytime that Anthony says that, I just play that clip, and it's just me just hammering back. I should do it like a can of beer. I should do like they sell like the little small beers, like little baby bubbas, and I'll slam one of those back, and then I'll do like a can, and I'll slam that one back, and then I'll do like a bottle, bang, full pint, and then like a 40, I'll slam a full 40. Does anybody slam 40s? I don't even know. Your heart might stop, I think. But I'm sure shit not chugging a beer. Like in the funnel and like doing a beer bong? No way. No way. No way. Scott Radom. Hey y'all. I'm in and out for the next little bit. Hope all is well. I hope so too. Johnny Chop Shop. Send one picture of a banana hammock and you'll never hear the end of it. Yeah, exactly. No dick pics, please. Just don't send me any dick pics, for God's sakes. Keep them to yourselves. TH, what are you working on? I've spent all day getting Blood Bowl models ready for the show. Now I'm going to have scotch and smoke a daddy cigar. Ooh. What kind of cigars? Or a daddy cigar is... Are we talking about the ganja? Sir Peanut Butter. Morning, Kris and peeps. Morning. Aaron Seach. Howdy, Kris and monkeys. Happy Saturday. What is everyone working on? Me, something a little different today. Restoring an old school NES for a friend of mine. Yeah, I seen your post on that. You had an NES. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Fire Drake. Did I win? I don't know. Did you win? Did you? Nathaniel, worse. If there's not enough blood for both, either Blood Bowl or beer, for processing the alcohol. Ebb and Flow, what's up, everybody? Regular 2-inch brush over on Twitch. Miserable day here. Just your typical nice day in Scottish countryside. Now, is that true? Like, I mean, like when last year, around, what was it this time last year? It was like around this time last year. I got to visit the UK. I just spent a little bit of time in Nottingham, and the weather was quite nice. It was actually quite warm. The sun was shining, and it was not what I was expecting. I was expecting dreary, miserable, cold, damp weather, and I was lied to. The travel agent lied to me. They said it was going to be dreary. England is just dreary. There's no sun. The sun is there's no words in the old English language of what the sun is, because they just never saw it. And so I wonder, like, is Scotland like, I mean, everybody says it's dreary in Scotland, but I mean, is it really that dreary? Like, I want to see some actual data on on what the weather. You know what? I should just go to the Weather Network and see what the weather is in Scotland. I guess I could just do that. Nitfink, hello everyone. Hello Nitfink. Anthony B, that would please me. Making a clip of just like hammering back a beer. I'd have to space them out because like Kris doesn't hammer back beers, and I certainly don't drink that much these days because the whole diabetes thing. And I've been really good with watching my sugars and stuff like that, and I've been good, and I've been a very good boy as far as staying away from sugars and alcohol and things like that just gonna freaking destroy me, right? And so yeah, the big one is the sugars. Like, I don't consume a lot of sugar, even like my regular coffee. I used to take like but you can see my coffee's black, right? I'm pouring all over my keyboard. You hear me cursing the rest of the show. Ah, son of a bitch. Anyway. Where am I? Dark Commission, episode 282. Too much blood for the bowl. I like it. Too much blood for the bowl. That's what it is. Or does anybody eat beets on a regular basis? Does anybody eat beets? Because wait, I'm not changing the name of the show. You got me. I'm not changing the name of the show because the show is called the Patreon Giveaway Time. Oh man, I messed that all up. Anyway, you ever eat a lot of beets and then go to the can and like you think, oh my God, I'm dying from the inside. It's all right, beets. I had beets. That happened to me. I had beets for lunch. I had a whole bunch because I usually have I do like this little assortment of like kielbasa, cheese, and pickles, and beets, and olives, and on Triscuits, and and munch that down, and I'll have that for lunch. And yeah, I had beets, and then I went to the can, and it was like, oh, Oh, right. I had beets. I thought I was dying from the inside out, you know. Anyway, anybody who, caution if you've not eat, well, pickled beets, like when it's in that pinky, briny pickled beets. Yeah, that just, and you look at your toilet and you go, oh my God. And it's, oh, right. Yeah. Anyway. I didn't think we'd go 12 minutes into the show and I'm already talking about shit. Fire Drake 18. Wonder if they will still make Buddy beer for kids. Did they? Anthony B. Ever play Edward 40 Hands? That's always fun. Edward 40 Hands? No, I've never even heard of that. No, that's some level of drinking that apparently I've not reached. And I used to think that I was, you know, like when I was younger and I was drinking, you know, before I was of age and thinking, oh, I was all cool and everything like that. And yeah, we never did stupid shit like that. Aaron Seach slammed the beer in the same fashion as Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't know how he slams the beer. I stopped watching wrestling like in the Hulk Hogan days, like the original Hulk Hogan days, you know, way back when. But I'm familiar with who Stone Cold is. Vasily Shimko, there he is. Vasily, what's happening? Hi, Kris and Monkeys. Hi. Johnny's Chop Shop 2020 is the year of the model shelf of doom. Everything on it will be finished or thrown out. My New Year's resolution. Really, you're going to throw out stuff? It's quite a bold claim. It's a bold claim. You have to put it into writing. You have to write it down. Get somebody to write it in calligraphy and seal it with a wax stamp. You know, like a purity seal. You know, we should do that. We should all take oaths. It's like frickin' Space Marines, and we'll make wax seals and, you know, and we'll have our parchments, you know, saying we will get this done, and, you know, by whoever, and yeah, we'll all take vows, and then we'll like cut our hands and, you know, drip blood. And, it all got really intense there for a second. Regular 2-inch brush. Weather in England is generally warmer and has longer sunny spells compared to here. The Highland rains most and gets most snow. Still nothing compared to Canada. Yeah, Canada? Oh yeah. Well, I live in like southern Ontario, which, like, when you look at a map or the globe, technically the furthest southern point of Ontario is actually at the same level as Northern California, if you can believe it. That altitude, like that latitude, longitude? No, latitude, right? No, it's longitude. Either way. Latitude's this way, longitude's this way, right? So longitude. So, yeah, anyway. So actually, a bit of Canada does come pretty far, and where I am is not that far off from the very southern point of Ontario. Well, actually, the very southernest point is actually a little island that's just off from Ontario, and it's actually the furthest point of Canada into the south, and it's actually pretty far. It's into Ohio and everything like that. But anyway, so where I am, it can be fairly warm. Summers get really, really warm around here. I mean, humid, and it pisses me off. But in Northern Ontario, where I lived most of my life, yeah, we can get buried in snow. You can just, yeah. You know, you see pictures like, you know, remember like in Empire Strikes Back and Hoth, you know how like the snowbanks, you know, they're digging the snow trenches? That's some winters, yeah, it's like that. It gets really deep snow. Nathaniel, Kris, there's this one song, everywhere you go, always take the weather with you. You took friendly Canadian weather to the UK. Yeah, maybe. That's entirely possible. Samuel Sanfratello. Hi, Kris. Hi, everyone. I received my Artis Opus brush set last night. Hooray. Can't wait to put some paint on my Tyranid Tyrannofex tonight. Cool. Yeah, enjoy those brush sets. I mean, like, the Artis Opus sets, I like them. There's nothing wrong with them. I've talked about them quite a bit. I only ever use the number one. You know, I don't really use the detail brushes too often because they come to a nice point. The number one Artis Opus, yeah, let's call it Opus. And, yeah, it comes to a nice point, and it does, like, a vast majority of the work. So, yeah, enjoy. Take care of them, of course. Take care of your brushes. Because if you're going to drop that kind of coin on your brushes, take care of them. Make sure they're clean, conditioned, when you're doing a paint session. I mean, if you're painting and I got to go get a tea or coffee, whatever, and then come back, you don't have to wash them at that point. But, you're done painting for the week, and it's not going to be until next week, until your next day's off or whatever, right? And, that's when you want to condition your brushes and leave them on their sides, let them dry for a couple hours, and then put them away in your cup or case or whatever it is, But take care of them. It's like proper tools. You ever look at a good mechanic's shop? Their tools are always nicely organized and taken care of and well maintained. Exact same philosophy. You take care of your tools, and they'll be there when you need them, and they will do the job you need them to do. And also it helps to invest in good tools as well. So yeah, the Artist Opus ones, yeah, fine brushes. I've been using them for a while. I enjoy them, but I don't use all of them all the time. So, but the number one I use the most. TH, the latter Kris, jazz cigarettes, but it's evening here and I just had dinner, which makes it slightly more socially acceptable for a grown-ass man to get high and watch YouTube. And celebrating finishing a team. Oh, right, yeah, I got your email. Very cool. We'll be getting to those. I got a lot of emails actually to do this week, so we're gonna get some emails done this week. We're doing emails. Well, we're always doing emails, but and don't let me forget to do the giveaway too. Don't let me forget. Nathaniel, what are beads? No, beats. Gotcha. Yeah, beats. The beats. Like when you're bad and you get the beats. The back of the hand. Keep your hand strong. That's awful. I know. Ebb and flow. Rumor has it beats are great for keeping your soldier marching. Really? What happens if it's about 4 hours after? And no, I'm not. Fumble. Hello, Kris and everyone else. Hello, Fumble or BBL. Fumble. I'll just say Fumble. Anthony B. You duct tape a 40 ounce on each hand, and you can't use your hands until you're finished. Really test the bladder. Good God. Yeah, you'll crush your knob if you did that. Try to take a piss while you got 2 40s in your head. I just imagine two clinking, clink, clink, clink. Ah, my freaking knob. Anyway, it's just it paints a really weird picture, and I'm spending way too much time thinking about it now, so I'm gonna stop. Vasily, I haven't done any painting in who knows how long, year, 2. Was thinking about getting rid of Drukhari army because I don't want to paint lots of dudes, but new Age of Sigmar elves look interesting. Well, I think what it is, buy what you're intending to paint, right? So if you're going to start a new army, and it's really, really hard, when brand new army comes out, and especially the way GW has been just pumping this shit out, that, maybe just start with a get started box, right? If that comes out right away, get the get starting box and paint that. And then maybe get another one or get a character, get a, big machine or, whatever, right? And go about it in that fashion. Just pick or get a character. Start with a character, something that's really inspiring to you, Ooh, yeah, and paint it. And then, finish it, then go buy another one, right? That way you're not dropping $500 all at once, and you got all these models, you assemble them all, getting them all primed, and then you're like, oh, I got all these models to do now. And then and then the next release comes out and there's more models, and it's like, oh, and then so you add it, you know what I mean? And and the hard part is, and this is the really hard part, and this is where things always get me, is when there's deals. So it's like a 2-for-1, or you know what I mean, or whatever, right? There's a sale, 30% off, 40% off. Yeah, I'm a sucker for a deal. They'll get me every time if there's a deal. Yeah, GW, all they gotta do is make more deals. And the get started boxes, those are deals. Do the math on any of those box sets, and you're usually saving about the cost of one of those things in that box, which is a deal. It's a deal. So, and like I said, I'm a sucker for a deal. Dark Commission. Isn't there part of West Scotland where the Gulf Stream comes warm weather? I'm sure there are palm trees there, just like in Cornwall. Nathaniel, Kris, you mixed up longitude and latitude. It's vice versa. Longitude's this way, latitude's this way? I thought it was longitude, latitude. No? All right. So we're saying it's latitude, longitude. Right? That what we're saying? I'll look it up later. Fumble. Pronounced like the word fumble. So 100% correct. Thank you. David Moffat. Hi, guys. Bye, guys. I'll catch the rerun as always. Okay, later, David. Harry. Hey, Kris and Monkeys. Chilling out and recovering from rotator cuff surgery. Ugh. You know what? I've had this shoulder pain for quite a while. And yeah, it actually hurts when I lay on my right side. It's just the way it bringing my arm up. I don't know what the hell I did. At some point, I hurt myself. I don't know how, because I'm not, I'm not super active. So I don't know how I hurt myself. I hurt myself sleeping. I don't know how you hurt yourself sleeping, but apparently I hurt myself sleeping somehow, some point in the past. But it's hurt. Like I can't, like, so when I'm showering, because I usually shower with like a bar of soap, whatever, and I scrub up this side, and yeah, sometimes it hurt. See, I can do it right now because obviously I'm not in the shower, but yeah, bringing my arm all the way across like this, yeah, it freaking hurts. Like right in here, and sometimes it hurts it down here into the bicep. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I did. I did something. Hurt myself. Where am I? I have no idea. Dark Mission, just looked it up. Yes, there are palm trees in Western Scotland. Really? Kevin Cabal, Dark Mission, what? Yup. Saw that, was surprised. They're pretty short palm trees. Oh, they're short palm trees. Okay. Nathaniel, Kris, exactly. Longitude vertical, latitude horizontal. Okay. It's been a while since I looked at a globe. Come on. Who honestly was the last time looked at a globe? Everybody's got the Google Maps on their phones now. You don't have to. Anyway, I don't know what the hell we're doing. Kevin Cabal, we have palm trees on Vancouver Island too. Also kind of small and only in a few spots. Yeah, but Vancouver is pretty warm comparatively to like the rest of Canada, because obviously you get all that Pacific Ocean air, right? Like it's I can't remember what it's called. It's that warm air comes up, but it changes wickedly, because like once you hit the Rockies, and then it comes over the Rockies, and then it gets into the prairies, and it's like freezing freaking cold. And that's why in the prairies they get a wicked amount of snow and get cold. But anyway, Nathaniel, Kris, when in doubt, it's my wife's fault. Sorry, Mrs. Bellow. When in doubt, it's my wife's fault. Oh, about the shoulder? Yeah, maybe. Maybe she's beating me up. She has hit me a few times. There was one time, apparently, she clocked me right in the face. And she used to have this really bad habit when our firstborn was still really small. She would freak out in the middle of the night, thinking I was rolling on him, even though the baby never slept with it. Our children never slept within our beds with us, like when they were infants. When they got older, sure, scary nights, whatever, right? But when they're infants, yeah. I mean, like, going for a nap, whatever, not a huge issue. But proper bedtimes, no. The babies never slept with us. Unless, of course, they were ill or whatever, just keep them monitored. But anyway, yeah. And I got clocked one time because she thought I was rolling onto our son. And I was like square in the face. Just that's her instinct. That's a mother bear instinct, apparently, is to just clock anybody that's you think is coming to your kid. So, yeah. So when they say watch out for the mother bears, yeah, it's no shit. Vasily, I have a globe in my room. LOL. Nerd. Fire JKD. Throwing this out there, those Star Breach rules seem like a great replacement to Kill Team. Yeah, I haven't checked them out. I seen Ash put out a video on the Star Breach. Nathaniel, I have a globe. It was a gift from my late mom for my 16th. Nerd. Kevin Cabal, I always wanted one of those big globes that opens up into a liquor cabinet. See, now Kevin's talking my language. He's talking my language now. I'm in. I'm on board here with this idea. Yeah, one of those nice big ones. Open it up, and it's got your barware in there. There's a guy I watch on YouTube. Shit, what's his channel called? Hold on, I'm gonna look up his channel. He does like Star Wars themed stuff, like builds, and he's going through the process of doing his rec room. And oh yeah, do you think I can freaking find it? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, perfect. Where is he? Come on. Hopefully this isn't killing my internet. Just scrolling through all this shit. Seriously, what the hell's going on here? Oh, there it is. Yeah. The Smuggler's Room. This guy is really, really fun. He makes YouTube videos. The Smuggler's Room. And he does I think he just made this video. The Star Wars drink crate. And it's really kick-ass. And it's just something fun like that. Yeah, but yeah, the Smuggler's Room. That's his channel. I'm pretty sure that's the channel name. The Smuggler's Room. And his latest video was doing a drink crate, and it's kind of, Han Solo kind of inspired, and so it's just something cool. We get on this subject all the time about what kind of crap I'm watching on YouTube and Star Wars builds, and I tune in to a lot of metal machine shop videos, guys working with metals. I watched a lot of wood turning on lathe. If I had a wood lathe, oh man, fun stuff. Where am I? Vasily, my father, a hollow globe for drinks. Yeah. Kevin Kamal, if I get a deal or on 2 of them, I'll send you one, Kris. Yeah, if you ever find one, sure. Dark Commission. I can get lost in an atlas for an hour or so. Guess that sounds rather ironic. Yeah, it does. Get lost. See, well, I usually go into Google Maps, and my brother-in-law, he's got the Oculus, the VR Oculus, I think it's the Oculus. Anyway, and he loves going through Google Earth and just flying through the planet and checking out other places and shit like that. So yeah, I can totally see. With the VR set and just going with Google Earth, that would be totally fun. Kevin Cabal, I love maps in general. Sure, I mean, maps are helpful, but I'm not sit there I'm gonna sit there and look through topographical maps or shit like that, or satellite maps. I mean, they're fun, but I only use maps to figure out where I'm going. I don't really rely a lot on Google Maps, like the GPS thing, because oftentimes I like to know alternate routes, and I just use the map. I just look at a map and go, okay, well, this way, and I can go here, and all right, well, this way gets me there too, just in case there's traffic or anything like that. If I need to get off over here, I can get hit in this way. You know what I mean? I like knowing that kind of shit. It's the only reason I use maps. Fumble. I'm currently excited about the new Titanicus stuff. You into mechs, Kris? Am I into mechs? Yeah, I am into mechs. Titanicus. I'll get right into Titanicus if they start producing the Eldar. Same with Aeronautica. I'll get into Aeronautica if they give me the Eldar planes. I'm in. But until they do, no. But the thing is, with the Titanicus, the Eldar rules would probably work not like the rest of how the game mechanic works, right? Which, is typical, because in Battlefleet Gothic, Eldar don't play like everybody else. Everybody else is subject to gravity in the game. When you're going to planets, or even at your speeds, you have to move certain amounts when you're traveling at a certain speed. Whereas Eldar don't obey any of those rules. They just go wherever they want. And so in Titanicus, I'd imagine the Eldar are kind of the same way, because in the literature, Eldar Titans move very gracefully, like a man almost, right? So a Warlord Titan is kind of clunk, 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 moving along. Whereas a Phantom Titan, it describes they'll press themselves up and hide against buildings and structures and stuff like that. Like Warlord Titan wouldn't do that. It just clunk, 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 and if there's something in its way, it kind of just blunk, steps over them. You know what I mean? It just destroys them. Whereas an Eldar would probably leap over it, or you know what I mean? it's like watching more like a person moving, like a gigantic person moving rather than a big war machine, And so, how do you reflect that in the game, And of course, too, I mean, power allocation, stuff like that. Like, would that work, the same way as in Titanicus? Don't get me wrong, I like that mechanics, but, again, it's Space Marine on Space Marine type stuff, and it's just, it's why I'm not that huge into 30K. Like the war game itself, especially playing older edition rules. I'm a fan of 8th edition 40K. It is a much more streamlined and, it's just a lot faster gameplay. Especially when you start getting into larger game sizes, So I'm a fan of easy rules but complex mastery. I'm a fan of that. Is 40K that? I don't know. But, yeah. Kevin Cabal, I have to admit that Titanicus stuff is very tempting. Yes, it is tempting. I mean, but, I don't get fired up for the Imperial design. Something about the Imperial aesthetics, that especially lately, is just kind of, I don't know. I like that they went with the inspired previous designs of the Warlord Titans. I like that, the more Beetleback, Titans. I like that, call back to those early days, what those models look like, I think that's cool, but no, I'm not particularly fired up. But if they brought Eldar in, then I definitely would get into it and play. Harry, Death Star liquor cabinet, yes please. I've seen that. Or no, it was a barbecue. Sorry, no, it was a barbecue. It was one of those, you open up the Death Star and it's a fire pit, Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know if there is a Death Star. There's got to be a Death Star globe bar, right? It's got to be. If there's a picture, send me a picture. G squared. Hey y'all, better late than never. Sure. Anthony B. Nerd alert. Johnny Chop. Kris needs options. Anthony B. Can you proxy the Gundam as a Warlord Titan? That guy? No. In 40K, he's bigger than the Scout Titan. He's probably closer to like the Eldar Scout Titan in size. He's about the same height as like a Warlord Titan, or not a Warlord Titan, Warhound. But yeah, that guy anyway. Or is it that guy? No, it's that guy. Yeah, him. I don't even know where I'm pointing. Kevin Cabal, I have complete original Titanicus box set and one of the expansions. Still, the new buildings certainly beat the old Styrofoam ones. Yeah. I mean, there's, because there's so much detail now, right? The new buildings, are really fantastic. Yeah, I have one of the pewter Eldar Phantom Titans for Titanicus. Well, Epic, whichever you prefer. I haven't painted it yet. I've been meaning to. Actually, was it you, Kevin, that sent it to me? Or was it Fire Drake? Somebody sent me the Phantom Titan. I haven't painted it yet. I've been meaning to because I'm going to paint it up just like my Armor Cast Phantom Titan. So, yeah. Anyway. Rumble, with side Titans and mentions of corrupted Titans, maybe Xenos aren't too far off. No. If they're gonna go outside the norm for Titans, like I've speculated that they may do it like the way it was done in the past, because Titanicus was the first part of Epic to come out, and then Space Marine came out when they started introducing the Space Marines and the Orcs, and you know what I mean. And it was Space Marine on Space Marine, and you know what I mean, trying to represent like the Horse Heresy and everything like that. And so maybe that's the way it's gonna go. And then of course, having Aeronautica planes, right? Well, those get incorporated into Epic. So all we got to be looking for now, okay, is if a Space Marine on Space Marine type of game comes out where we have 6mm, because apparently Epic was supposed to move to 6mm, because the Titans in the new game are bigger. The planes in Aeronautica are bigger than the old Epic ones. So they speculate that the infantry will be about 6mm, and like the sculpts will be 6mm in height. So once those get released, then we know like Epic will definitely become like right around the corner. Who knows? Maybe they won't. I think they should. I think it'd be awesome if they reintroduced Epic, because so many people enjoyed it, and but I mean, it would have to have a different rule set from regular 40k. It couldn't just be a port of 40k. It would have to be something else entirely, I think. That way, anybody who wants to play, Warhammer 40k Apocalypse, you know what I mean? It's well, am I going to play Apocalypse or am I going to play, Epic, right? And Epic, you can play much larger scope of battle, Who knows? I don't know. It's a guess. But definitely, I mean, for Titanicus, if they are going to start introducing Xenos, I think it'd be Orc. Orc will be first. And Orcs would be hilarious. And Orcs could follow the way the damage tracking and everything like that, and the energy allocation and the shields and stuff like that, all works the same as the Imperial. It just, the Orcs would have more of it, right? That was one of the things about the Orcs, is that it's tons of guns, shit firing, tons of hit points, crap armor, right? So, yeah. But anyway. Kevin Cabal, the new rules make the game way more dynamic. Yeah. I was recently watching Dan play at the club there, and, yeah. And I've seen a few games of Titanicus, and yeah, it's interesting. It's very cool. Fire Drake 18. The nostalgia in me wants to see a second edition 40k bat rep. Definitely. Nathaniel, Death Star barbecue grill? Gimme. Yeah. I don't know if it was a fire pit or if it was a barbecue grill, but I know I've seen it, because I've seen a Death Star, and it was like the destroyed Death Star. It had all the, or not destroyed, but Return of the Jedi one, the rebuild. The second version, whatever. Kevin Cabal, wasn't me. Although I do have a metal Phantom Titan I'm not using. Yeah, because I have one. Somebody sent, one of the monkeys sent me one. I want to say it was somebody. I know it was somebody. I know. Because it just didn't randomly show up. I know it was one of you guys sent me one. And I haven't painted it yet. I've been meaning to. Because I had gotten it shortly after Ash and I had played first edition Titanicus. And I was like, oh man, it'd be great to have the Eldar and play with the Eldar. And I was actually shopping around pretty heavily, for the old, not armor cast, but the old Phantom Titans. And yeah. Johnny Shop, monkey's time to shovel snow. Be back later when I'm victorious. Yeah. Johnny Shop. Today is a good day to shovel. It is a good day to shovel. It's always a good day to shovel. I shoveled last night before bed. Just because. Because it has to be done. That's why it's because. All right. Let's do an email. Because I think we're caught up on comments at the moment, right? Yes. I know. We're only 40 minutes into the show and we're already getting emails. We're getting to the emails already. So, if you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down. But here it comes. Yeah, let's do it. Start off. Yeah, we'll start off. Email time. Email time. Oh, it's done. Oh, man. This is from our good buddy Derek. Hey, Kris. Just finished my Primarch and wanted to share it with you all. Thanks to everyone in the Discord who helped me along the way with this. And so let's have a peek at Derek's Primarch. This is, what's his name? Kovac? Korax. Oh, he's got a chain. That doesn't come with the model, does it? The chain? You added that chain? That's very cool. I think with the base, I would have thrown in a little splash of color. Like a little bit of browns, reds, or greens, or all three. Just little hints here and there. Like the big concrete blocks could all be stayed gray. But it's just so much gray that Buddy gets kind of lost, and your eye immediately is drawn to the word bearer guy. And yeah. Just so that he's distinguished, because it is a lot of It's a lot of gray to look at. It's like he's fishing. He's like, get over here. Is that what he's doing? Does he have a rule like that where he just, get over here, and he pulls you over and messes with you? But really nice work, Derek. Very, very cool. Thank you for sending that in. Yeah, I that would be the only suggestion I would have. Otherwise, everything looks fine. I mean, obviously, as, you get more practice and, applying down your color and stuff like that. But yeah, in the future, I think, like, if you were going to do this and, if you were looking to put it into a competition, or if you're taking part in a tournament and it was going to be judged, yeah, definitely I would throw a splash of color. Not heavy. I'm not talking heavy. I'm talking like thinned out shade washes, like the shade wash green, egg Rex or shade, even the sepia, stuff like that. Just very lightly throw it into the rubble, into the base, you know what I mean? Just so that it creates a bit more separation from your Primark. And yeah. Just a thought. But anyway. Very, very cool. Awesome stuff. Thank you for sending that in. Let's do another one. This one is from Nathaniel. Greetings, Kris and fellow Monkey. Here's short in between projects. I recently finished 2 Fenrisian wolves, which I hope are done to a good tabletop standard within 5 hours of work. That should be plenty. Also, to clear my head from a project on which I'm stuck, see video on how to combat painter's block, I didn't prime the bases to keep the natural texture of the materials used, and primarily airbrushed everything except the eyes and some of the highlights for the fur. I was inspired by fresh salmon skin. I had salmon for dinner. Anyway, I can't read. CNC is appreciated as always. Thanks in advance. And until next time, salutations, Nathaniel. And so let's have a look at his Fenrisian wolves. I like the transitions from the limbs to the belly. And you didn't keep the texture on the bases, you said? The bases look really textured. Ha! Spidey webs. Is there like a little beetle in there? Hold on. Or is that like a little drop of paint? That looks like a drop. Like, it looks like there's a little beetle in there or something. That's cool. This spider web looks like glue. Did you use the glue method to get your spider webs? Is that what you did? Nathaniel? Nathaniel. No. Yes, really nice transitions. Now, you said you worked on it by airbrush? Is that what you said? Or this was by hand? 5 hours of work. Got them done pretty fast, I think. I think the bases look fine. You were worried about the texture of the bases? Bases look good. I don't know if they needed the tropical looking plant though. Especially with all the snow and the dirt. It's like a snowy tropical thing, I don't know. It's an alien world. I mean, it can be anything you want, right? So it looks like they're also pretty shiny. Now, I imagine you're probably using these as game pieces, but maybe you might want to throw a slight matte on the guys. You might just want to hand do a matte finish on them. Just, use a little bit of Lamian medium and just, hit it. Or Vallejo medium or, whatever matte medium you happen to have on hand. But yeah, I think a little bit of matte medium to seal this and knock that shine out of them. Because they're furry, right? And, I mean, unless, of course, you want them kind of slick looking like that. Or maybe, is it me or... Yeah, they kind of have a bit of a sheen to them, it looks like. But really good stuff, Nathaniel. I don't really have anything to say other than maybe knock that shine out. The bases, yeah, look good. Oh, I see. You didn't prime the bases to keep the natural texture of the materials used. Oh. Interesting. Why not? I've seen people do that lots. Is that good English? I've seen people do that lots. Anyway, use just sand on the base and not even paint it, and it's just natural sand, and it looks fine, right? Because I mean, like natural materials. I mean, like when you use like say baking soda for snow, it's just baking soda, right? So there's nothing wrong with using like leaving the natural material to shine through, right? So why not? Why not? Where am I in the comments? Did Nathaniel respond to me? Oh yes, okay, we're coming back. I gotta go back a couple comments here. Matthew Adami, I still occasionally play second edition. I'm going to Milwaukee on the 1st to play second edition. Cool. J Plasma, I've painted modes for 3 days in a row, and I'm very proud of myself. Cool, awesome. Take pride in your work. When you feel like you've stuck to a project and got it, and you got stuff done, yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. There's nothing wrong with that. Nathaniel, you guys are lucky. You have snow. There was none in my hometown. Daniel Jefferson, love the Primarch model. Wished a lot more characters got this treatment. Yeah, well, I think Forge World spaces it out so that, people stay invested in Forge World, because if they just pumped them out, like Games Workshop regular, right, where they're just, here's all the Primarchs, and it's like, oh my god, But yeah. Harry sent you an email on the Death Star. Hope it went through. Yes, I saw it. I saw the email. I didn't click it though, because I was just scared it was going to be a dick pic in there or something. Nathaniel, that's supposed to be a spider on the webs are made out of all-purpose glue. Okay, so Nathaniel, have you ever tried crackle medium method for making the webs? I talked about it a few episodes ago, doing the using crackle medium to do webs. If you have an airbrush, you know what I mean. What the frick? Restream sending me trophies now, apparently. I guess they're trying to do like the Twitch thing. I don't know. But anyway, crackle medium, definitely, it gives you really fine, and because of when you lay it down, it goes on and it can be quite dense, but you can just come in with like a wet brush and just like pull areas away, and you know what I mean, and you can really kind of manipulate and control it. Whereas with the all-purpose glue, it's kind of like, the gore method where you kind of touch. But the beauty of doing the purpose glue is that you can like, if you know how, you can create an actual spider web, right? You can do it like touch, and then just create the little spirals inside and make an actual spider web. But yeah, it looked like a little beetle, but it looked like a little drop of paint in the thing, which it's supposed to be the spider. I realize, yes, I get it. Just yeah. Nathaniel, crackle medium for the webs? No, never tried that. Interesting method. Yeah, crackle medium. Go Lester. I don't know if I've done a video on it. I may have. I probably did a video a long time ago, but nothing on my channel current. Maybe I'll have to do one. But anyway, check out Lester Bursley. Awesome paint job. He's got a nice quick little video on, using crackle medium. If you got an airbrush and crackle medium, you're rock and roll. And it can be just cheap dollar store crackle medium. I don't even have mine around. I don't know where mine is. I just picked up dollar store crackle medium, and yeah, that's all. Anywho, Fire Tricky Team, like them wolves, like the happy little spider in the web. Shh, the spider is also paying attention, just between you and me. Carl King 555. I have been off and on working with a warhound. Cool. Send pics, dude. Coma, crackle medium through an airbrush makes spider webbing. Yep, definitely. Dark Commission, aren't the crackle webs fragile though? Yeah, they are. The all-purpose glue, they're probably a little bit more durable, whereas the crackle medium, if you're doing spider webs on your model, all-purpose glue or crackle medium, it's for a display piece. Realistically, you should be doing it just for a display piece, because your handling of the model is going to destroy that spider web at some point, so yeah. Nathaniel, Vallejo crackle medium, we'll try. Yeah, just crack a medium. Just put a little bit in and just try it out. It's watch the video. Go to Awesome Paint Job, Lester Bursley's channel. He's got a really great tutorial there. Use it. And you'll have to cycle through because it's a pretty old video, but the information is still relevant. And yeah, you just kind of, once you get the PSI dialed in, the amount of thing, distance, and that's it. You know what I mean? And as soon as you start seeing the web, like it's almost like Spider-Man. You're just throwing this web, and you just see these little strands, almost like silly string, and it just starts flying out of the airbrush. And yeah, you know you've got the spider webs, and you just start laying them in. But you're doing it by airbrush. You got to think about how you're laying it onto the model, right? Because it's gonna blast it across the model. Not very hard. It's just gonna, you know what I mean? And it's gonna. You just watch the video and just try it out on a test piece. Just try it on a test piece, and you'll see what I mean. But yeah. It's a really fun effect. It's a really fast way of doing spider webs. It's that it's not like spider webs like a proper spider web. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm talking about. I don't know what all that was, but anyway, it's like cobwebs. Really, it's a bit more. It's more like cobwebs. It's really. That's what we talked about last time because I was talking about my spider demon and how I did the cobwebs, and I've been thinking about going back and redoing some of the cobwebs because cobwebs on her hand broke, you know, because you're moving the model around and yeah, the ship breaks. So yeah, is it fragile? Yeah, but even the all-purpose glue method, which you know I imagine is probably pretty strong, but it all depends on really how fine you can break those little strands down. But even that little, if you make like a little structure, I imagine it's probably fairly fragile. But yeah. I would only do it for display pieces. I wouldn't do it for game pieces at all. Even terrain, I wouldn't do it for terrain. This technique is only for display purposes. Even if the model is not really, you know, quite display standard, and you're gonna do this effect, still, it's fragile. It's gonna get ruined if you're gonna handle it. So, if you're only doing it for game pieces, I don't know. I really wouldn't recommend it. Oh, I don't see my comments. Wait, hold on. I want to check out this because Harry sent the link. Is it dick pics? Okay. Oh, yeah, look at this. It does exist. Look at that. It's a Death Star drinking globe. Now, is it custom built or is it like... Because it almost looks like... Or is that the Star Wars writing all around the rim? Either way, there's a little Death Star Destroyer up above it. Aww. I want that. I'm not going to lie. No. I want that. Thank you, Harry, for sending that to me. Now you've added something else to my wish list. For when I win millions and millions of dollars. Actually, I don't play the lottery, so you know, I'm not really that much of a gambler. I gamble every time I eat out, but yeah, I don't really gamble all that much. Nathaniel Dark Commission, thanks. By the way, glue webs will dissolve when sprayed with canned varnish. Really? See, I've never done that. But see, like most display pieces don't really end up getting varnished. You know what I mean? Because you're not planning on handling the model, right? So, yeah. Robert Marshall, evening all. And is that like the ball gazer thing? You know, you look, oh, got to get kicked in the ass. Are we all getting kicked in the ass right now? Is that what's going on? Oh, that was cold. Oh, last bit. Cold. It's cold. All right. Another email? Why not? This is from our good buddy Scott. Hi, Kris. Last week I sent in a pic of a couple small pieces You were talking about painting burnout, and I agreed with everything you said and recommended small projects as an easy break from army painting. You were asking about lighting direction and if anyone out there painted with the light not coming from the high noon as a clock direction. Personally, I kind of cheat. I do big, bulky areas from a sort of 12 o'clock position, but like to do smaller details around the 10 o'clock position. For tomorrow's sample on this orc, the overall uniform is painted and armor are done from the 10 o'clock over his right shoulder. For sure, not realistic, but I don't get called out on it. And it's fun. No, definitely. I mean, who the frick is going to call you out on that kind of... Anybody who's going to call you out on something like that, I mean, needs to get their fucking head examined. Anyway, also, you asked about blending techniques, whether I do wet blend or glazing. Straight glazing, bro. Bro. Wet blending does my head in, and I haven't worked hard enough on it to get good results. So he's referring to last episode, we were looking at his, he had like little objective markers, and I was asking about, how basically, his lighting scheme was like from, the 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock position, right? It was kind of like off to an angle, and how one side is brighter and darker, even though it's like, say, the uppermost surface. You know what I mean? Some of you guys will probably recall, but anybody else out there, go back an episode or two when I was talking about it. Anywho, so Scott only glazes. So yeah. I don't mean like only like, oh, he only glazes. Glazing is tricky. It's a very common painting technique. A lot of people, display great mastery in this, rather than, wet on wet blending or two brush blending or feathering or, any other ways to create, subtle transitions on a surface. But yeah, I dig it. I really like the transitions on that hip and shoulder. Yeah, on the armor, yeah. Like, see, I like that style. I like that. Like, I'm talking about his back plate here for everybody else. See how his strong highlights on the right-hand side of the back plate, and they're getting darker to the left. It's contrary to what you normally imagine, but because it's an armor plate, that is a bit more like non-metallic metal, other than changing that direction another 90 degrees so that it's brighter at the bottom and darker at the top. That's kind of like what that is, which is probably why I kind of dig it, because like with the previous episode where you were showing your objective markers, those little ammo canisters and stuff, you did an edging around all the surface, and I imagine this probably has a fairly broad edging along the surface as well. Yeah, see, I can see like on that back plate. And the helmet is actually pretty straightforward. You've brought those highlights to the forefront rather than, say, come at it from the left or the right kind of thing, which is kind of interesting. It's just a non-directional light sourcing, right? It's not like, we're going for realism. But I mean, I don't really care for realism on miniatures. I'm not really a big fan of it. I like strong, bold color. Because for my way of thinking, these are miniatures, and like 90% of the time, these are being played with, right? And so, yeah. Yeah, see, I can really see the glazing here, especially on his left, our right. Yeah, the icon on his helmet. Yeah, I like that. I like that how your highlights are to the left, and it gets darker to the right, the lower right. It's towards the 4 o'clock position. Yet the mask is kind of straight on highlighting, which is interesting. I like it though. I like it. Ooh, Goliath. Nice skin tone. Like the little blue elements, the armored or the dark elements, I guess. The base, is that just like a plasticard? That diamond plate plasticard? Is that what that is? Scott, are you here today? I don't even know if you're here today. I probably read your name, but I wasn't paying attention. I read the names, but I don't read the names. I haven't seen any comments from Scott, so I guess he's not talking right now. Robert Marshall, you could have started the stream in an hour when I start building Iron Jaws. I guess I could have. You know what? Okay, Robert, you win. Everybody, I'm sorry. We're gonna start these shows an hour later so that Robert can. Fire Drake 18, I'd call you out. Oh yeah, that's a cool army. Yeah, no, definitely. And Scott, yeah, I mean, I like that style where, and in fact, when playing with that kind of element and being very deliberate in it and kind of, you can get into some very fun areas, especially if you start playing with in art. I always mispronounce this because I'm pretty sure this is an Italian word, chiaroscuro. Using that sort of technique where basically, kind of see like, yeah, let me see here if I can find it, my position here. Okay, so for example, an example of chiaroscuro is you have strong lighting on one side of a subject, yet the background is lighter here and darker on this side, right? So in fact, when you're looking at an element like, say, the orc's helmet, right, you have the strong light sourcing coming across, but then on the helmet, where it gets darker for the icon, it gets lighter on that side of the helmet and stays darker where it gets brighter, and play within that kind of space. Something to consider. I'm pretty sure it was always pronounced chiaroscuro. But anyway, yeah, a lot of the older Baroque style of paintings, they follow that kind of that style. If you're ever familiar with like Caravaggio or anybody like that, where it's really super contrasty and just really kind of focused in on subject matter, and you often had like the really, really bright highlights on one side and it's super dark as far as the background, but then where the shadow is on this side, the background would be a little bit lit. You know what I mean? So following that kind of paint philosophy would be very interesting. So like, for example, like I was saying, on that orc's helmet, doing that kind of 2 o'clock position. Is it 2 o'clock? Whatever. You know what I'm saying. The lighting like that, so it's brighter and it gets darker this way, but then on the helmet, it's a bit lighter here and gets darker that way. You know what I mean? So that you have that contrast, and so you actually make that dark point on that icon stand out a lot more, and the whole silhouette actually starts to make a lot more sense, right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense to anybody? I don't know if anybody's listening to this, but anyway. TH, damn, Necromunda's awesome. That looked great. Yeah, that Goliath. Yeah, damn Goliath. Ash kicked my ass with those Goliaths. Those guys in the Zone Mortalis setting, those guys are really powerful. In the open setting, they shouldn't be quite as powerful, but he was still kicking my ass. But yeah, Goliaths, damn Goliaths. I'm excited to try out these corpse grinders. I'm excited for that. I imagine they're going to play a bit more of a skewed version of the Goliaths because there's more close combat in them. And yeah, but I mean, obvious, right? Because they all have freaking chain axes. Robert Marshall, laughy smiley face. Scott, I'm here. Hands busy painting. Base on Goliath is Dragon Forge Designs. Oh, really? Because it looked like I saw like the tab of the base. Let me see. Yeah, I could see the tab, and like it doesn't look like one continuous piece. Or is it like a base topper? Is that what it is? Because it looks like that's a sheet of plastic art on top of a slaughter base, right? Or a base. At least that's how that looks to me, right? Because I can see a seam line between that, right? I'm not crazy there, right? Because I would assume that's just a piece of plastic card on top of a base. And, that's it. That's why I thought it was a conversion you did. But I was... Oops. Messed that up. Oops. There we go. Hitting all the wrong buttons. So, yeah. So, hopefully, Scott, that kind of gives you some ideas as far as, how to employ that kind of 2 o'clock directional lighting. Because I like that. And, in fact, I might actually dabble with that at some point. I don't know what. Maybe just try it like on a few icons or something. I don't know. It all depends really, I guess, where I'm going with my next projects, right? Because I just finished painting up. If anybody's been watching my Getting Projects Done, I finished painting up my Barbarian. Anyway, I didn't bother doing anything fancy for the base. This is a Gamer's Grass base. I just drilled him in, put him there. Remember, there was a slot up between his feet. I clipped that, shaved it, drilled a pin in there, pinned at the base, and yeah, so he's on there. This is his base now. He's a little off center, but that's just the way the base was made because there's a rock there. And these are just resin and painted, and then they slap the grass. Oh, man. Anyway, where am I? Scott. Fire Drake, I have been called out a couple times. A little weird, I thought. Huh? I don't get it. Scott, bases molded one piece. Bases come in sets of 10, and most in the set are way more interesting than the Goliath base was super plain. Yo. Okay, yo, dog. Yeah, I mean, like, well, that was all one piece. Well, I can see how they made it. They didn't bother filing and sanding it down and hiding the crimes, as it were. Well, I can see how they made it. I mean, it's kind of just, no wonder why the aftermarket base, miniature bases is, so saturated with people because, yeah, it's so easy just to slap a base together, mold it, cast it, Anyway. So, what time are we at here? 10 after 1. Holy carmolies. So today, I am giving... can I do this with this other camera? It's probably not enough light. Screw it. I'll just do it with the main camera here. I am giving away to one of my patrons at Non-Metallic Metal Monkey or Shiny Monkey. I am giving away one of these. Picture's going blurry. Don't worry. But I am... let's do her here. Let's focus in on her. There we go. Giving away Inquisitor Greyfax. She's painted pretty much like she was on the box art. Black cloak, metallics, golds, right? I pretty much painted her kind of like how she was painted on the box art. So, but yeah. So this is what I'm giving away today for one lucky patron. Just in case anybody wanted to know. There we go. So that's what we're giving away today. Greyfax. I have been actually preparing to clear off my shelf because I need to make room, and I just want to get rid of crap. And if you go to waythebrush.com, I have where's my head here? I have a Rodigus I'm selling, Gilliman I'm selling, and Bloat Drone right now. And then I'm going to list more. I'm probably going to sell off Marathi. Who else? Marathi. There's a couple more. Oh, Alexis Pollux, for any of you 30K fans out there. There was somebody else on the chopping block. I just wanted to get rid of them because, I have them. I'm not really, doing anything with them. And so I figured I'd sell them. Peep Eater. They didn't hide it, but saved Scott the ass pain of cutting a perfect circle of diamond plate plastic card. Well, they have those little stamps. Just a little round thing, and especially if you get thin enough plastic card, you just have to score it. Really, just give it like a little knock with a hammer, and then just pucks it right out. Pucks it right out. Some of you are wondering, what the hell does a pucks it out mean? But that's what I'm talking about. It makes that little sound. Sorry, everybody got headphones on. Greenleaf Terrain at Kris. I'm a Rion named Pat. Can I win? What? Oh. I get it. I get jokes. You're a Rion named Pat. Can you win? Can you win? Yeah, you can win. Are you winning today's draw? No. Listen here, Pat. Are you a non-metallic metal monkey? No. Are you a shiny monkey? No. I think if you meet those criteria, you're in. You don't even have to be live. You don't have to be here, because when I do the draw, which we'll get done here in a bit. When I do the draw, I'm just going to message them saying, you won. Give me your shipping information. And yeah. So anyway. Dark Commission episode 282. Plucking it right out. Plucking? Pucksin. Pucking. Pucking it out. Pucks. No. Putux? Can't remember what word I was using. There's a lot of made up words in my head. There's a lot. There's quite a few. It's a lot. Shall we do another email? I think so, right? We should. Should we? Are we ready for more? We're ready for more. Shall we do a jingle? Let's do a jingle. Let's do another jingle. Let's do this one. So if you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down. But here it comes. Email time. Email time. Oh, it's done. I don't hear it, so I don't know. I gotta watch the little sound bar as it moves. And sometimes I'm looking at something else and it's like, oh shit, it's done. Anyway, this is from our good buddy Disco Duke. Hi, Kris and the monkeys. Been a while since I sent an email or watched a show live, but I've been lurking in the shadows and catching up on YouTube. Thought I'd drop you an email of my current selection of work in progress. It's mainly some resin minis from Zealot. On a couple of them, I've been practicing my wet blending and glazing with yellow, so any CNC on that would be appreciated. Other than that, I've tried on a female wizard to keep to some warm tones and think about colors more. Any help on the hair color would also be good. Cheers, Disco Duke, aka Dave. And so let's scroll down here. Here we go. So this is what the Disco Duke has been working on. Very, very cool. Fun little mini. Like the intensity in the face. Normally you don't want that kind of, staring eyeball kind of thing on a mini, but with this guy, it actually kind of, it tells a story, right? I like the color in the pants. It looks like you went with a gray and browns. So you get these kind of different tones going on. It's very cool. Very fun. Oh, here we are with the cloak. Very cool. Galaxies. We're still playing with galaxies, are we? Is that what we're doing? Nice work on the gloves. Nice work on the yellow. Really nice highlights. The face. The beard. I like it all. It's really good. I like this one. It's really good work. Ooh, look at this. Scary. I like the colors. I think the flesh could probably go a bit whiter. The base tone is fine, but I think like another couple highlights. Just very, very lightly. And I think the spectral energy of the ghostly thing. Yeah. No, I think that's okay. I think what it is it kind of throws me off from the glow is that there's so many dark points where it like the imagined intensity is building. And so, yeah, I think like when you're base coating it, you start off with a darker green at the base, like down below the feet, and that would have been an opportunity to blend in a transition up to the hand where you go with the brighter greens as the base color, but you blend in your mid-tones all the way down to the dark tones towards the base, and then you give it all a slight highlight, you know, and then you can actually glaze it with greens and just kind of marry some of those transitions together. If that makes sense, Disco. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, you were talking about going to transition for stone, like the gargoyles coming to life. I really see it a lot on. I can see the transition occurring, and I think if you'd done it on the whip a bit somewhere, like imagine if we were looking at this from a fixed point where most of the stone was occurring. You know what I mean? Like if you looked at it from a certain angle, it looked like it was mostly from in stone. But then when you look at it from another angle, you don't see any stone. That would have been kind of a fun idea as well. I think your execution on this idea was really good. I dig the leg. I dig the shoulder and the wings. I like how the effect. I think the whip could have used a little bit of that touch. But otherwise, yeah, I dig it. Yeah, I like this one. I like it. I think just the whip could have used that touch of stone, just to give us that impression that even the whip was stone at some point, right? Ooh, this is nice and neat. I like the color. Are you? Is that what the idea here is? You kind of staying within. Oh, I like your work on the cloak there. I like the shadows on the lower portion of the cloak. Very nice. Now this one here, and I seen you had posted a picture on this on Discord too. This one here, yeah, is kind of tricky because of all that detail. And I think, as I was mentioning with that spectral energy with the green, same idea with this model. That if you would have started off with a blend on your as your base coat, so for example, say the body was close to the bright yellows, and then or even at the face, and then say the extremities, and you wet blended your base coat so that her hair was blending out to deeper colors out towards the ends. Her body was blending out towards deeper tones in towards say her core, or even brighter. Because I mean, like if you wanted to bring more attention to her face, I mean, more yellows would be there, so she looks really kind of intense, or and her extremities, like her hands and feet, were building up towards a yellow. So that way, when you got to the flames at her feet, there's more oranges, and it would be yellow, and just little hints of yellows here and there within the flames, because the flames feel kind of really intense, and I think it takes away from the intensity of her. And I think same thing with the horns. I think the horns could have went from yellow closer in towards her head and building towards more oranges and slight reds out towards the ends of the horns. Kind of like a flame, like the it's all kind of playing off the flame. And then, of course, all the little flame details around her, you could have also blended those, um, out as well from her body. Like I said, for the hair, you could have did the hair a little bit more intense, closer to her face, and then building out towards, deeper tones out to her hair. And then so like the flames on, say, her shoulder, it builds a little bit more intense at the center, and it gets deeper out towards her shoulders. Under her breasts, it'd be a little bit deeper in towards her sternum, and then building deeper out towards her rib cages. And her legs, the flames on her legs could have built, you could have even went and built more intensity towards her hips, and getting, slightly cooler towards her feet, even though on the flesh it would have been a lighter tone there. And then just played entirely within the realm of yellows to red, or even white, to build that real intensity, That's a really cool sculpt. It looks like it's a 54 mil miniature. Is that what that is? It's a very interesting sculpt. Honestly, I don't know if I'm crazy about those horns off her head. I think she'd be a lot cooler if she didn't have those horns. I'm not crazy about that. But, I mean, it's, the sculptor, right? So, I don't really get a say in that, so. But, yeah. So, hopefully, Disco, that kind of helps. I think your execution here is fine. Yeah. Hopefully, you keep going and just keep practicing that blends, man. I mean, you can do it as a wet on wet blend. You could also do it as glazing, especially on that fire model with the horns. Glazing actually might be more of your friend in those kind of instances, because it allows you a little bit more control, especially if you're trying to build deliberate, you're blocking off color, say, for like the flame details on her as opposed to the flame on her flesh. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Peep eater. Leave it to a Canadian to use puck as a verb. G squared. What model was that guy with the whip? I don't know. Disco, what was that model? He said that, what was it? He said they were part of minis from Zealot. So I guess Zealot is the manufacturer or the sculptor. I don't know. Try that though. Zealot. Zealot. Zeliot. Emerald Phoenix. I don't think I've read that name before. Emerald Phoenix. Or maybe I have. I don't know. Anyway, where is that female yellow cloaked sorcerer model from? The female yellow cloak? Yeah. It must be Zealot. That's what Disco Duke said at the beginning of the email, is that the models were from Zealot. So, I don't know. Okay, let's go to Zealot. Let's see if Zealot miniatures, maybe? Zealot mini? I don't know. Oh. Hey, there we go. Zealot miniatures. There we go. Yeah, zealotminiatures.com. Are the models here? I have no idea. Ooh, they even do large scale. Might have to check these out later. Let's see here. New releases. Let's see if there's anything in the new releases. Do I see anything here that looks familiar? Actually, really nice sculpts. Ooh, I like the buildings. Are these the guys that did those buildings? I don't think so. Oh, I like the little captured noblewoman. That's kind of cool. Supposed to be talking about shit, but here I am just kind of... Let's see here. Fantasy models. I see a little archer. Knight. Oh, yeah. Sorcerer. Yeah, the female wizard. Yeah, she's from Zealot Miniatures. Big demon dude. Is he from Zealot? I'm going to say he is. I have no idea. Go next page. Prices aren't terrible. Oh, I like this cupboard mimic. Oh, that's a free... Oh, it's sold out, of course, because it's some freaky deaky looking model here. I'm going to show you guys really quick here. Yeah. This guy right here, cupboard mimic. This thing is freaking cool. Look at this thing. That's the stuff of freaking nightmares right there. The Twisted Catacombs. I wonder if that's some sort of game they're doing. I'm not familiar with these guys at all. This is the first time I'm having a look at some of this shit. That's pretty cool. That's scary as hell. Look at this back. Oh, look at his back. Look at that. It's freaking me out. I'm not crazy about that seam line running through the cupboard, though. I can see that seam line right there. But I'm sure it's all part of their... I'm sure it's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. All right, where's that demon? Oh, here's the fire elemental. Ah, it's out of stock of this one too. Damn. Yeah, I'm not crazy about these horns. Are you crazy about these horns? I'm not crazy about those horns at all. But yeah, that's the one Disco Duke is painting right now with the fire. Yeah, I don't care for those horns. It kind of helps with the symmetry of the model, but I don't know. The organicness of them feels out of place, as opposed to just being this fiery elementalness thing, right? I don't know. Am I wrong? I mean, if we're judging these things as sculptures, I mean, you know. What was the other thing we were looking for? Oh, the demon. The demon with the whip. Demon with the whip. Oh, I like this little dude. This is a really simple looking little miniature. I like this dude. This necromancer. Look at this guy. I like that. There's just something. It's the simple nature of it. I like it. He looks like he's dancing. He's dancing. Anyway. Shit. Where am I? I know we're supposed to be doing a giveaway. Supposed to be answering questions about painting and shit. Here I am shopping on some site. I'm not shopping. I'm just having a look. Okay. I don't. Ooh, look at this guy. Anyway. Yeah, I don't see that. Oh, maybe it's the large scale models. Oh, that is cool. Beowulf. That's cool. Okay, we're going to have a look at this one here. Beowulf, look at this. It's sold out, of course. All these really cool ones are sold out. But look at that. That's cool. How big it is? 20 mil? Okay, so it's about 6 inches or so. I like that. It looks like it's based off the Beowulf from the animated film. Yeah, that looks exactly like the face from the movie. Pretty darn good sculpt, though. You can feel the tension. I actually kind of really like this piece. Would I pick it up for myself? I got a lot of projects on the go. But I like the sculpt. See there, that looks like a shot from like a museum. Like that's an actual 10-foot tall sculpture. That'd be cool if that was a 10-foot tall sculpture actually. But anyway, where am I in these comments here? I don't even know where I am in these comments. It's just we're completely. When's Warehouse? I finally followed long enough I can talk. First of all, love the mustache. That got my follow to begin with. And then I noticed which RX-72 is that? That's the mega scale. That's the mega scale. I'm not sure if it's still produced. That was a gift from one of the monkeys. It's the mega size. It's not. It's a 148 or 148, 160. I can't remember what scale it's supposed to be. But anyway, it's the mega size. So just look up the mega size and you'll see. It's not a very complex kit, but from what I understood from, because I'm very new to Gundam kits, but I've always been very interested in getting into them. And yeah, and it was recommended that actually was a very good kind of beginner's kit. And it was, because a lot of those parts are just kind of 2 parts and, but yeah. And I love Bandai kits. Well, that's really kind of what got me into really looking at the Gundams was because I was into the Bandai kits, because I have like a whack ton of the Star Wars Bandai kits, and I love the Star Wars Bandai kits. They're fun. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, it's the mega size. Yeah, 148, yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not a very complex kit, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I put it together in like a couple hours. Not even. But yeah, I've been meaning to, because I'm most likely going to paint that. Well, not most likely. I'm going to paint it. I'm going to cover up the seam lines and everything like that. I just haven't done any of that work yet. It's only just assembled. And there's no glue on it. I'm going to glue it, sand it, and everything like that. So, anywho, Dr. Santos, hello all. Hello. Am a battle late, but here now. Well, welcome. Emerald Phoenix, founder. Yeah, Zealot Miniatures. Yep. Scale Model Muse, afternoon all. Afternoon Scale Model. Nathaniel, maybe it's a half-blood. Father was a demon, mother of fire elemental. Maybe. G Squared, did not see the demon with the whip, but thanks all the same. Yeah, I didn't see the demon either. I quickly perused it. I didn't see it. But yeah, so hopefully Disco, maybe you can leave a message saying, where you got the demon with the whip. The demon with the whip. The whip demon. Where am I? Dark Commission. I'd love that Beowulf if it was 75 mil. It's not 75 mil? I thought it was. Oh, it's 54, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because it only looked like it was about yay big. I mean, if it was bigger, I mean, geez Louise. Yeah. It'd be great. But you're going to pay. But good art, you'll pay for. Wren's Warehouse. That's so sick, though. I've not actually seen only pictures of that Gundam. Really? I didn't think it was that rare. I know it was produced like a while ago, and I thought that they don't really produce them anymore. But yeah, he's fun. Let me see here. Move my Bob Ross bandages. Yeah. Yeah. He's a fun kit. Slapped together really easily. I mean, he's not even glued. He's, and he's fully posable. I can do him any pose I want. Any pose. Here we go. In fact, I'll just leave him right here, looking up at you guys, pointing his gun. Here, you know what? Let's go. There you go. Pew pew. Pew pew. No, turn his head. He's looking sideways. He's like, I don't get it. Anyway, I sit here all afternoon playing with my Gundam. Oh, shit. Hit the mic. Sorry. So yeah, but the thing is though, is once I get to painting them, I don't know if I want to do like battle damage, because I seen one color scheme was like with grays with the red and blue, and I was thinking with the yellow parts, I was actually thinking of doing those like in a chrome yellow, That's what I was thinking anyway. Whoop, knock your shit over. Whoop, 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 whoop. Jeez, almost knocked over my light. Almost knocked all my shit over. Anyway, yeah. Wren's Warehouse. I just don't have anyone I really associate with that has one. Gotcha. Fire Trick 18, I'm back. Did I win? No. God damn it. Are you a non-metallic battle monkey? Are you shiny monkey? Dang it. Wren's Warehouse. Oh, I see that seam line on the bottom of the beam rifle. Yeah, there's like I said, there's no glue. That was all, because Bandai kits, you can just slap them together and you're done. You can slap some stickers on them if you want, whatever. But if you want to go that extra little mile, yeah, you glue them, you take off those mold lines and the seam lines, and you know what I mean, and you sand it, and then you prime it, paint it, weather it. I know, because the other idea I had, which I thought would be really fun, was doing it in an anime style, in a cel-shaded style, where, basically you have like bold color, tapered shadows, and then hard, abrupt highlights and such. I was thinking of doing something like that too. Kind of just like right how it looks out of the anime. I've seen many examples of it online of, how the Gundams look painted in that style, and it's like really inspiring. But of course I might just do it my way, where it's just white armor, weathered. The red, I was thinking of doing like the red and blue and yellows in metallics. I was thinking of actually doing the yellows in a chrome metallic. Just give it like a color shift of a browny yellow, just kind of give it a gold tint, you know, something along those lines. Of course, I could just hit the entire model in chrome. I don't know. Ren's Warehouse. If I suggest anything, use the putty instead of the glue if you're planning on painting them. Use the putty instead of the glue if you're planning on painting. Like to do the seam lines with the putty? No, I'm a big fan of letting, because I use the regular like Tamiya glue, right? I've done a lot of Bandai kits, and and of course, doing Games Workshop kits in styrene, plastic, and stuff. This stuff works great. You just melt that seam line, press the parts. If you keep applying pressure, you'll see that it kind of wells up a bit, and then you can knock that mold line right off. Just a nice light sanding, and that mold line's gone, and you've created a super strong bond. The other thing I've seen that I've actually really been interested by is using this extra thin Tamiya glue and taking chunks of like leftover styrene plastic, and like you empty about half of the bottle, and you start chucking little chunks of plastic in, and it melts the plastic into like a little slurry, and you use that little slurry to fill in the seam lines. I've seen that technique. I've always been interested in trying it out to see how well it works. But yeah, I've seen that one. Fire Drake 18. Can't wait to see Kris work on the Bandai Space Marine. Well, it's as far as I understand, that Bandai Space Marine, it's like the Black Series or the SH Art series from Bandai, where they're just action figure. It'll be like a box, and it'll have like he's an action figure, so it'll just be the figure, and it'll probably have his extra hands and his extra helmet and stuff like that. His helmet. I can't remember if there is. Yeah, there's supposed to be extra hands. I don't know. There might be. I hope there's lots of extras with this guy, because they're making me wait a long damn time. I know, I'm kind of impatient because I have a bunch of ideas that I want to do playing with that Space Marine, and I'm gonna play with it. I'm gonna make sounds, and he's gonna play with all my GI Joes. Anyway, Nathaniel, Kris, you think using putty, using plastic slurry, molten plastic from leftover sprue dissolved in plastic cement, you think of using for the seam lines? Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, because I've seen that done. I've seen it done. There's a guy, one of the modelers I follow, and yeah, he just chucks the plastic in, makes a slurry of it. But you gotta, there's a fine tipping point, which is why you gotta drain the bottle halfway kind of thing, and then just start adding the plastic until it makes that slurry. But there is a saturation point in which you don't go past, because then it becomes too thick and unmanageable. But yeah. Anyway. Ren's Warehouse. Yeah, I used the cement as well. Just found that the Mega Zoku, the putty was a lot easier. Yes, oh my god. P. Peter, can't wait to work on my own Bandai Space Marines, inspired by Kris's inevitable videos on it. The Bandai Space Marine, as far as I understand, it's coming painted. It's an Ultramarine. It's coming painted. How easy will it be to repaint? We'll know more once we get our hands on them. I imagine I'll get mine same time everybody else gets theirs, unless of course I can convince anybody to send it to me earlier. But apparently it's not going to be out until March. You know what? It might even come out during Adepticon. Or at the same time as Adepticon. I bet you. Anyway. Ren's Warehouse. I saw a video someone do it and tried it with some of my HG kits, and it actually works really well. Yeah, making the slurry? Yeah. Scale Model Muse. It's called Sprue Goo. Or glue. It's a decent filler. Yeah, that's what I understand. It's because it's the same material. It's like if we're gonna go with welding, right? Like I often equate using plastic cement on plastic is like welding, right? Because it melts the two and it creates a bond. And plastic cement bonding styrene plastic kits, you always should be using that because that creates a far stronger bond rather than using CA glue, because CA glue it's complete crap as in those needs, because you drop a model once with CA glue. Anybody who's assembled their models in CA glue and dropped the model, even though it's really light, it hits the floor, or hits a hard floor, or even the table, and it busts and parts go flying all over the place, right? Because that CA glue is so brittle. And if you use a lot of it, which you shouldn't do anyway, because CA glue works better when you use less is more kind of thing, right? So you shouldn't be using a lot. But with plastic cement, it melts the parts, makes a bond. It's like welding, and, creates that bond. Now, using something like the plastic cement slurry, mixing it with the CA, or with the plastic cement and styrene plastic bits to make that, it's kind of like brazing. Right? It's like, you have your two parts and you're going to weld them, and you're using another material to bond the parts together. That's what I kind of imagine it like, but you can just simply use it as as a gap filler, right? But anyway, I've not done it myself. I've only, seen it practiced on. I haven't tried it out myself. I haven't, sacrificed a bottle of plastic cement and styrene. I've got tons of styrene. Yeah, so I haven't tried it. Maybe I'll make a video on it and show my experiences with it, because it definitely is something that we probably could carry over into the rest of wargaming as far as Citadel miniatures are concerned. Making a slurry from the styrene plastic, taking a gray plastic, melting it, and then using it to use as a gap filler. Because there's a lot of models, especially the way the CAD designs work on GW kits. There's you often have those fine gaps. First one I'm thinking of is like Abaddon's cloak. It's a great sculpt. The parts fit together really great, but there is this gap that runs vertical on his over on his other side, where his sword arm side, and rather than trying to fill it in with some sort of putty or whatever, you can just use that glue, move it into the spot, wipe it away, and be done with it. Or even just once it's cured, come in and just blade it off and then sand it, and you know what I mean? And it's still just a plastic, and it's going to still remain as a bonding force rather than putty, which is why we used to use green stuff a lot for gap filling, which works really great for pewter models, because it was, whenever you use green stuff, right, it's a two-part epoxy. It grabs on to both materials and acts as a bonding agent as well. Whereas some gap fillers are just, they're just filling in a gap, and so it's almost like maybe the part is just a valley, and it fills that in, and so you can bridge it, and so it's not really holding on to any. It's not like a structural thing, right? But it also, because it's not grabbing on very strong, it also might be something that could fall out, right? Whereas using the styrene slurry might be a bonding agent as well as being a gap filling. So anyway, just my thoughts on it. But I've not done it myself yet. But yeah, so I've been doing my getting projects done, and I was at the end of the last episode, which was on Twitch there yesterday. I was working on the Barbarian, which I'm done now, and so I was talking about what kit or what project should I work on next. I still have my corpse grinders that needs to get finished, but I also was thinking about getting started on the Gundam. So that's a possibility there as well. I might start working on the Gundam. Where am I? Ebb and Flow. What's the shelf life on sprue glue? Sprue glue? On, like, when you make it yourself? What's the shelf life? Well, once you seal the bottle, it should be fine. Because it's... Yeah, it should last a long time, as long as there's no air getting to it, right? Drying out the acetone vapors, right? Nathaniel, depends on the ratio, but usually at least 6 months if kept out of the sun. Also, it's depending on proper sealing. If the solvent can leak, it's usable within several weeks. Yeah, as long as the acetone remains, right? Thanks. I've always been curious about it. Never tried. Good to know. Yeah. Alrighty. Holy cramoles. We got 14 minutes left of the show. So, it's time to do our giveaway. Now, I have 4 entries for patrons. at this level at non-metallic metal monkey and shiny monkey. And I'm just going to go by order. And so it's Rumen, Steve, Matthew, Jane, or the Gim. So it's Rumen, Steve, Matthew, the Gim. Okay, those are who are automatically eligible. I'm going to go over to random.org. I already have it ready to go. No, let's go over here. Yeah, we'll keep it on this one. So I've already got it on random.org. And normally whenever I do these draws, I always click the button 3 times and accept the third click. Right? Just because, the random just, obviously just doesn't feel like random or whatever. But anyway, so I only have 4 names. So randomizing between 4 names. Whoever's at this level, obviously, odds are good. You're getting an Inquisitor Greyfax. And don't worry, I will send you. And don't worry, you don't have to be here live because, again, this is the patrons. And this is just one of the perks at these levels. So, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So number 4, which is... Oh, it's the Gim. The Gim wins Inquisitor Greyfax. I was about to show the Patreon page here, but no, I can't. It's not that I can't show it. I'm not going to show it. So yeah, it was Rumen, Steve, Matthew, and the Gim. And number 4 is the Gim. So the Gim, you win an Inquisitor Greyfax. So I think I already have the Gim's address, but I do have his address, but I don't know if I have it available on hand. But anyway. So yeah, so hopefully I get this sent out to you, buddy. Because I'm gonna. Well, actually, maybe I'll just bring it when I visit you in April. Save myself the postage. But yeah, anyway, the Gim, buddy, you won. You're winning a Greyfax. And I think you're playing Imperial these days, aren't you? Aren't you playing Imperial? So maybe you could use this character. I don't know. She's painted to a tabletop standard. I have pictures on my Instagram, bit closer ups of this model. It was painted. I don't know, when does this box set come out? Because it was from the Triumvirate. So it was a while ago. I painted that. Oh, I've got Celestine as well. I'm not 100% behind my Celestine though. I might touch it up before I get rid of it and put her on the for sale block. I don't know. But anyway, the Gim, congratulations, buddy. You're winning a Greyfax. I'll send you a notification later if you're not watching this today. I don't know if you're around today, but yeah. I'll send you a message. Nathaniel, I had a feeling it's the Gim. It's the Gim, man. It's the Gim. Yeah, Dr. Santos, congratulations. Yeah. Nathaniel, any email left? Oh yeah, I got like a couple more to go. What time we at? Oh crap, we got 11 minutes left. Oof. Scale Model Muse, good question. If it's closed up, it should last a while. My mix is just a few months old. Yeah, so Scale Model Muse, yeah, you use it. Okay, cool. Yeah, and it works fine for you. Now do you? Okay, here's a question, which because I've been thinking about how I would go about using this stuff. And I'm thinking that basically I would just glue the parts, bang, right? Then once it's mostly cured, I would come in with the slurry and slap it into the gap, right? And use it and bang, and then let it fully cure, hours upon hours. Because usually you're best just kind of doing it and leaving it for like 8 hours, that kind of thing, right? And yeah, and then come in, probably shave it, blade it, and then sand it, right? That's usually the way I work with styroplaster. Usually I just have a nice sharp blade and I just kind of razor off the surface and then sand it. And it all depends on really the project. But otherwise, yeah, that's my usual workflow for that kind of thing. But how do you go about it? Do you use the slurry as the bonding agent? So you use the slurry, put it on the edges, put the parts together, and then use that to bond? Or do you glue it and then use it? That was the question. That is the question. Not was, but is. Fire Drake 18. I almost won, I think. Nathaniel, you weren't even in the pool, man. Yeah, I was in spirit, yeah. Yeah, again, it's just a way of showing appreciation for all the monkeys. Of course, everybody, at various tiers. There are some perks, again, these are just my ways of saying thank you for everybody who's supporting and everybody who's considering supporting and joining Patreon. It's Dice, At these other levels, I do the giveaway. I'm supposed to be doing these giveaways like monthly, but nobody freaking reminds me, so I always forget about them. So yeah, but otherwise, and then of course once I get my shirts going, then yeah, shirts will be sent out. I'm thinking that everybody at just before non-metallic monkey, highlighted monkey, and then non-metallic, I think we'll get shirts, or maybe I don't know, one of the two. Once I get the shirts going, then I'll have a clear idea. Anywho, scale model muse. It does shrink some, so it can take a few applications. Practice on something that's not important. Glue, then use. Yeah, you glue, then use? Okay. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. Glue it, and then use it. Because I watched one fella. There was a fella on YouTube who was assembling this very kit, and he used that slurry. And it seemed like he used a fairly generous amount. He basically just kind of overdid it, and that way he just knew because he can just blade it off and sand it and everything like that. But yeah, I like the idea of the slurry over using like a putty, like because normally for like gap filling and stuff like that, most of the time I use Vallejo's model putty, which is really fantastic. But it's I'm pretty sure it was on the label. It's a marble dust in an acrylic binder. I'm pretty sure it's an acrylic binder, and that's what's used for gap filling. Which works great because it sands and it cleans off really, really well. When you're using it to smooth it out, you just use a damp brush and smooth it out, and it works great. Vallejo model putty is really awesome. Because way back in the day, I used to use green stuff all the time, like actual 2-part epoxy, and especially for a lot more metal models, especially when I was near the end of 40K stuff, and then of course War Machine. I was getting into War Machine, so I was always using green stuff to gap fill, and a lot of the earlier sculpts from Privateer Press had a lot of gaps in them, so there was oftentimes a lot of work. But yeah, I don't use green stuff a lot these days. It's mostly just model putty, and so for styrene plastic kits, I definitely would like to get into using slurry as a gap filler, because I do a lot of Games Workshop kits, but a lot of the Games Workshop kits these days, the way they're designed, they actually go together very well, and the seam lines are actually hidden most of the time very well, which is a credit to their designers. But sometimes there are some places where there is a gap. Like I said, like Abaddon's cloak, there was a gap. Like, let's see here. Abaddon's right here. Yeah. There was a gap. I don't even know where the hell the gap was. Oh, wrong side. Yeah, right here. Along. Oh, I guess we can't. Anyway, anybody who's got this model, there's a gap that runs along, and it kind of runs through where I have the symbol painted here, right by where that hole in the cloak is. If you can see my finger poking through where that hole is, there's a gap there, and yeah. What did I use? I think I used modeling putty, and I just filled it in. Anyway. Try Milliput? Yeah. No, I'm thinking with styrene, with GW styrene plastic kits, I'm just going to, if I start making slurry, I think I'm just going to start using slurry as my gap filler. I like the idea better. It just, I don't know, plays into my OCD a little bit better, because I like the idea that it melts and bonds into the part. And is because you're just basically gap filling with the material. I kind of like that idea, Something about it just appeals to my brain. Nathaniel, Kris, that is one way to use slurry. Another is to use it as the bonding agent. Yeah. Scale model means plastic type and quality can also make a difference. I use the putty too. Yeah, that's true. Because like some Bandai kits, the plastic. Some plastics are softer than others, but see, GW kits, they're all the same hardness. It's the same plastic all over. But whereas Bandai kits, yeah, there's varying qualities of the plastic. That's true. Making a GW slurry probably would be easier, because it's only one kind of plastic you're worrying about, right? Maybe if you just do this kind of thing, you pre-prepare. Like if you're gonna do, say, a lot of Bandai kits, you make a Bandai slurry. If you do a lot of GW kits, you make a GW slurry, And you're probably best not cross-pollinating with the slurries, as it were. I keep saying slurry, but it's a goo. Goo. Nathaniel, Vallejo plastic putty shrinks. Not very much. Not at all. Not like GW's green stuff. Technical. That shit shrinks fast. I don't care for the GW green stuff. That liquid green stuff. I don't care for it at all. The only thing I use that for is bases. Filling a gap on a base. Because if I don't care if it shrinks. But yeah. But Vallejo plastic putty, yeah, that doesn't shrink at all. I've used that many years and works great. Scale model music. I'm not a fan of two-part epoxy. Yeah, green stuff. That's very common amongst war gamers. It's just using that. But scale modelers, yeah, they don't really use it all that often, I'd imagine. There's better options out there. Scale model music. That stuff is on my list to get nav. Haven't tried it yet. The two-part epoxy, or the Vallejo plastic putty, or the milliput. Milliput, yeah. The milliput is kind of like in that same vein as green stuff. Green stuff cures softer than milliput. Milliput cures harder. So, yeah. Dark Commission. I've been using milliput on 75 mil and busts where it's easier to use. Right. Yeah, from what I understand, milliput is excellent as well because, yeah, it cures hard, right? Green stuff actually isn't that great, but because it cures pretty soft, when it's in a mostly 50-50 mix, when you actually mix it more hardener, then it cures harder. But not so hard, or not too much hardener, because then it doesn't really, it actually kind of slows the curing time, or the softener. One of the two. I'm pretty sure the yellow is the softener, and the blue is the hardener. And if you have more blue in it, it cures harder. But anyway, either way, it's not rock solid. Whereas the milliput, I understand, is rock solid. But with green stuff, because using it on metal models back in the day was better, especially when if a model got dropped, it wasn't so bad because that green stuff actually can absorb shock. It actually can move a bit, where something hard is brittle, right? So, anyway. TH, email? Yes, email. Yes, let's do another email. Yes, there we go. Email. This is from Coma. Coma? It's Kim. Pretty sure it's Kim? Yeah, I think it's Kim. Anyway, hello, Monkey King. Here is some more stuff that I've done before. I am working on my Slaves of Darkness, and they will be the next email I send. So these while you wait. The Mephiston and the 5 Blood Angels was a present for my brother, and the Beastman Warband was done in one afternoon with contrast paints and metallics. Best regards, Coma. Or Coma. I'm just teasing. Anyway, this is the Gobbo, the Christmas Gobbo, the Red Gobbo? Red Gobbo. Very nice. I like the transitions. Nice subtle highlights. Nice and precise highlights in there too, on the seams of the cloth. Because this little guy is just small. More cloaks. We're just getting just the back sides here. Like the red. Here's the front of the Gobbo. Can we zoom in? Yeah, we can zoom in. Oh, nice work on the scroll on the belly. Very, very nice. Yes. I like the star. I like the highlighting of the star. Very good. Oh, excuse me. Very good. Ooh, Space Marines. Ooh, white Space Marines. Space Wolves? Apothecary? Is that what this guy is? Nice battle damage. Nice and subtle. Chipping. Very, very cool. On the right window? Yeah. Yeah, I like the little chippings. I think with the chippings, you could go closer to the edges. just to give it a bit more of that war-torn, like a wear and tear kind of look, rather than just kind of random placements out throughout the armor. You know what I mean? Like, say for example, like the elbow. The edges of the elbow would be more torn on the arm, on the hand plate, the plate that goes on the back of his hand. You know, like the wear and tear, like on his leading edge, like where his knuckles would be. You know, that kind of thing, right? Just that kind of idea. Like lightning on the sword. The wings of the icon, really nice. Nice and bold. I seen these guys when you're doing these guys. Yeah, the camo. I like the camo, how you did the camo. My fist on. Ooh, I like this guy. I don't know what it is about Space Marines. Just I often like just a nice, clean edging on Space Marines. I don't know why. I don't know. Just looks nice. It's probably like Eldar. Eldar is the same way. I like just a nice, clean paint job on Eldar. Ooh, Blood Angels. Now, see, these guys are different because your scheme, your lighting scheme is different here. Because you got darker down at the base, like by the ankles, and you go brighter, and you got the little spot highlights along like the knee and the edges, versus this, which is like a full-on edging. I assume we're just playing with technique. Is that what we're doing? These guys look really great. Don't get me wrong. I like this. And again, you know, it's always personal preference as far as, you know, how we want to highlight things, you know. Although I often always recommend, you know, don't bother trying to do realism or anything like that, because, you know, I don't know. Realism at a distance. Oi. Sideways. Oh, I want to look at these. Is this going to turn sideways for me automatically? Fail. Oh, these guys were done with the contrast. Very, very cool. I kind of wish this was oriented properly, but yeah. Oh, look at this. Backside again. Awesome stuff. If you hear a bunch of cracking sounds, it's because people are moving around upstairs. Yeah. Hi, Lucky. Oh, back to the gobbo again. More gobbo. Like, there's no discernible order to this email, is there? Yeah, I like the camo pattern. I like the color scheme and everything. Very, very cool. I like the flames on this. Nice and bold. Holy shit, dude. How many pictures are in here? Oh, we're on the last one. I was like, geez, dude, there's like a shit ton of pictures in here. Anywho, yeah, we'll finish it off the way we started. Looking at backsides. Awesome. Really nice work, Coma. Very cool. As far as any kind of comments, I think just the weathering, I think just like closer to like, you know, kind of logical type of points where armor would chisel away. I think your edge highlights look great. They're nice and clean. They're, you know, I don't see any kind of varying thicknesses. I think the next step is to push those highlights just a little bit further. Just go like on a Space Marine, for example. Let's go with this guy here. Yeah, let's have a look at this guy. So, for example, on this guy, like on the knees. Oh, of course, this is going to switch angles on me now. Nice. Anyway, so the plate that goes around his calf, the corner that comes closest to the inside of his knee and to the knee pad, that little corner should get another little highlight, really, really small, right? On the top of the ankle, the top of the little circular ankle plate, just a little spot highlight, you know what I mean? And just start going for those really, really fine edge highlights in there. I think another little highlight would actually look really cool. But very, very cool, Coma. Awesome stuff. Thank you. And let's do... Holy crap, we're already past 2. So, last email. This one is from TH. Hi, Kris. I'm sending you my 8th NFL-themed Blood Bowl team, and this time it's Dark Elves. Dark elves can look good in a lot of schemes. Ravens would be obvious, and falcons quite cool. But I always like some sort of common thread or logic when picking a color scheme, even if it's just the cheese joke in my Packers theme Skaven. In Blood Bowl lore, the Dark Elves play their matches on giant ships, so I thought I'd lean into a maritime and painted up the North Sea Nighthawks. Very, very cool. I thought 2 boxes of GW Dark Elves, or I bought 2 boxes of GW Dark Elves, as it would give me extra linemen and all the positionals except for assassins. The latter I made myself from a couple of wood elves, some necromunda heads, and chaos knives. I put some different heads on the blitzers as well to make them stand out. A couple of models got a little rattlecan fur that I didn't notice before starting. C'est la vie. As I've been painting these teams, I've been trying different ways of color coding the players to make them easier to tell apart on the field. With some teams, you can tell a lot. With orcs, you can switch primary colors for secondary colors, and they still look like orc team. But with humans, you can only have a change a few things around, and you end up with both the New York Giants and the Buffalo Bills. Right. Some of this is about narrative logic. Of course, orcs can decide on a uniform. They're orcs. They can't decide on a uniform. I figure elves are pretty orderly with room for individual fashion choices, some freedom to move colors around, but not excessively. The models play a big part too. Is there something unique or weird about them that tells a story I can piggyback off of? The GW Dark Elves have scarves made of cold one skin, which I found a little odd. Generally, you don't see a lot of easy-to-grab sports gear made of reptilian skin. I figured I'd play into it and let the scarf color denote rank. Gray for linemen, blue for runners, green for blitzers. The witch elves and assassins don't have dino accessories, but stand out on their own. To highlight the oddity, I painted the cold one skin slightly off color from the team colors to make it more interesting and to tell some sort of story. Maybe it's symbolic or ritualistic among the dark elves. Maybe those are just the natural colors of cold ones that come the closest. To make them easier to tell apart from the back, I mixed up the cloths on the uniforms, but kept shoulder pads, helmets, largely the same. Gray clothes for the linemen, mixed clothes for the positionals. I've added an extra pick so you can see what I'm talking about. Finally, I come to enjoy painting 1 or 2 linemen slightly out of uniform to use as journeymen. In this case, just adding some warmer colors to the blue, green, and gray. There's an extra pic showing that as well. Wow, that was a lengthy email. Hope you didn't get hoarse. Let me know what you think. Best THPS. I finally became a patron. Yeah, I saw that. Don't know what took me so long. Sorry. Well, don't be sorry. And, hopefully you stay and enjoy. So, here is his, what is it? North Sea Seahawks? It's a Seahawk color scheme from NFL, which is this navy blue gray with lime green. It's almost fluorescent green accents. I immediately, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, this is the Seahawks for sure. So, very, very cool. Actually, Seahawks are kind of like my sort of number 2 team I follow. I follow Steelers first and foremost, but Seahawks I kind of follow. Russell Wilson. I'm a fan of Russell Wilson. He's an impressive quarterback. Anyway, very, very cool. Right, some head swaps there. I got you. I like the whole idea. Excuse me. Linemen, I really like the linemen. These guys obviously capture the whole Seahawks vibe immediately. The head swaps are cool. Very, very cool. Great shirt and pants. Mix. Gotcha. Nothing but bum. Honestly, the middle one, I like that. I like that mixture, actually. That's really cool. And it's not just because I'm staring at his ass. Lineman, journeyman with a slob. What a slob? Because he's just all over the place with his colors. Oh, I see. Okay, across the other teams, you got the all mixtures. I got you. I got you, dude. Oh, that's the last one? Oh. I like it. Very, very cool, TH. Awesome stuff. Thank you for sending that in. Yeah, that's just really cool. I really like the color scheme. It's other than that, for the dwarves, I think it's probably my favorite. Honestly, no shit, I wouldn't lie. But that's it for emails. I want to thank everybody for sending in the email. Awesome stuff. And if you want to send an email, send it to Kris@wayofthebrush.com. It is in the description below. If you are brand new to this hobby and you need your questions answered, if you are a commission painter and want to show off what you're working on, or you just want help, or just looking for input or what have you, feel free. Send the pictures as attachments in the email. Don't send it off as links to other sites, because I most likely will not click it, because I just find that shit annoying, and so please don't do it. Also, in the description below is a link to wayofthebrush.com, central hub of all the cinemas. Has links to all the social medias as well as Discord. Discord's been fantastic. It's a great way to stay in touch. We talk all day long, every day in Discord. So join us in Discord. We're having a lot of fun. You can ask your questions there. And of course, myself will answer questions as well as the other monkeys. And a lot of the monkeys have been following me for a long time. So a lot of them, know my usual responses to things. And so you can take their advice, as you would take my advice, as trusted advice, right? So, Discord, a lot of fun. Join us on Discord. Wayofthebrush.com also has links for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And if you've purchased yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the monkey shrine on Way of the Brush. You'll see it up there. Little monkey shrine. Click it, and you'll see the monkeys. It's full of monkeys. It's just monkeys everywhere running amok. Running amok. No, it's not running amok. Tasteful, mind you. I always have to add that. Tasteful. A tasteful picture. Mind you, nobody's sent lewd photos. No, nobody sent a lewd photo yet, so thankfully. Thank you. Wayofthebrush.com also has links for Patreon support. Want to help support the channel, help me continue creating videos, Patreon support, it just always means, I'm always spending money on upkeep as well as upgrading. And I've just recently, as patrons will know, I've just recently acquired a new bit of equipment. And so I'm super excited to start filming with it. I actually just did a couple more tests. I actually did another, for the patrons, I did another audio test. I did an audio test. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, this just wouldn't be possible, wouldn't happen, and wouldn't get better. And that's always the goal, is to get better. Make the channel better, make it better, make it better. So that's always the goal. And if you're considering Patreon support, huge thank you. I have varying tiers to support at, everything from $1 to more. And of course, there are perks with each of those levels of support. So whatever speaks to you. And of course, if you're not able to support monetarily, clicking thumbs up, liking, subscribing, commenting's a big one. Sharing the video, that's another big one. Those all help me as well. They help very tremendously, actually, because as you share the video, more people get to see it. And as you comment, it means higher engagements. And so these are all positive things that help me. So all it takes is just, saying, hey, I really like the show, leaving it as a comment, or, what have you. And all it takes is just a couple clicks of the buttons, and you're helping me out tremendously. So that's it. Big thank you to Carl, a.k.a. Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his channel. If you love yourself some beer, and you love yourself some Blood Bowl, and you love yourself some beer and Blood Bowl, check him out. We always say thank you to Carl for taking time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segments of the show. And so always much love to Carl. And again, speaking of love, my brother Evan for creating the intro and outro music that plays for the beginning and end of the show. Always much love for my dear little baby brother. Even though he's bigger than me and he's way more muscular and he's in way better shape than I am. He's kind of beefcake. But relax, girls. He's married. So relax. Alrighty, I think we're done. We're done with the show today. I think we're done. Did we accomplish anything? I have no idea. But we gave and so yeah. So big thank you or big congratulations to Gim for winning himself a Greyfax today, for his continued support. So awesome stuff. Yeah, Pete Peter, you won a mini Gim. Yay! Oh, the Gim is here. The show is better now just because I arrived. Yeah. Well, you won Greyfax, Gim. You won Greyfax. Where is she? There she is, right there. You won Greyfax. So I don't know. You want me to send it to you? Do you need Greyfax like right now, or can she wait till April when I come for a visit? You won what? I just showed you. Asswipe. Come on, don't be an asswipe. I can talk to him like that because he's my buddy from way back when we were kids. Now some people are probably like, "Oh, the scam is in." Well, you saw me click it 3 times. I told you guys I click it 3 times, and on the 3rd try, Anyway. Dr. Zantos, no lewd photos yet. Is that a challenge? No, it's not a challenge. No dick pics, no lewd photos. Anyway, Captain Spasmo, it is a fix. Yeah, the fix is in. The fix is in. Captain Spasmo, yes. Who can get the riskiest pick allowed? Don't. Just don't. Oh, TH, he left a comment here. TH, for the monkeys who don't play bold, a journeyman is a hired gun lineman with a nega trait. Nega trait? They can be useful to teleport. Yeah. The Gim says, "Woot, bring it in April." Well, there we go. You guys are all witnesses. He said don't bring it until April because we're gonna go visit him in April. It's my little girl's 18th birthday that weekend, so we're planning to have a little bit of fun. We're gonna go visit the Gim, and yeah, it'll be fun. And yeah, I'll probably bring my camera and we'll capture something. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what sort of hilarity may ensue? Yeah, so I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Hopefully you guys got something accomplished, or maybe you're just chilling out, relaxing, and listen to me ramble on about crap. I don't know. Either way. Pete Peter, Greyfax or Gimfax? Gimfix. It's a Gimfix. It's the Gimfix. The Gim. I'll use her to kill Eldar. Captain Spasmo, Greyfax. All right, now you guys are just getting silly. So, huge thank you for guys tuning in today. I will see you guys next week. Next weekend? Yeah, next weekend. I don't know what plans next weekend. Do I? No. As I sit here and just scratch my head and just ponder life. Take care of those brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys next episode. Next 283? 283. Holy caramoly. 283 of these freaking stupid shows. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? The audacity. I'm spitting on myself now. The audacity. Anyway, all right, go. Be productive. Do something. Hug a loved one. Paint a picture. Work on some models. Read a book. Read to a child. Help an old lady across the street. Whatever it is you got to do. Do something positive. That's the message. Do something positive. With how stupid and crazy ass this world's getting, let's just do something small. Let's just do something small and positive. All right? It's just tiny little things. But if everybody does one tiny little thing, that's a huge amount, right? Just think of the snowflake in an avalanche, right? A deadly avalanche begins with a snowflake. I don't know where I'm going with any of this shit. Just get the hell out of here. All right. So now that all the rubes left the room, time to check email. And look at this. Chibis. These are from the Bandai, right? Bandai? Yeah. The Chibis. I had seen this on the Twitch stream from Games Workshop, their Warhammer TV Twitch stream. And they had shown that these are basically, you buy them at random. You don't get to pick each one. You buy one at random. And I'm like, oh, what the frets? Like, buy one at random. What if I just want, a whole bunch of Space Marines? I wonder, is anybody out there going to make a Space Marine army of the Chibi Space Marines? Are these bases the same size as, say, a 32 mil base? Some Titanicus. Look at this, Titanicus. Oh, this is like the new box set, right? Is that what this is? Yeah, I think it's a new box set. It comes with just the Titanis. Right? What's this? More Titanicus. Yeah. Games Workshop, you want me to get in Titanicus? I can't even spit it out. Start making some Xenos. Some Eldar, for God's sakes. Greater good. I like this model. What do you guys think of this model? I like this model. She's pretty cool. I don't know if her guns are big enough, but she's pretty cool. It's still a she, right? I don't even know. Ooh, Gene Stealers. Ooh. Oh no. Lord of the Rings. Profile cards. Oh. Black Library. Farsight. An Empire of Lies. Ooh, sounds ominous. Empire of Lies. Oh yeah, and then we had a Canadian thing for everybody out there. Eldari turned me on to this one. I didn't even know about this. Yeah, apparently it's a Canadian product recall notice for the Citadel Super Glue. Apparently, I guess it doesn't conform to Canada's standards for for child safety. So, yeah, Canada's trying to put the kibosh on GW selling their glue because I don't know. I don't know what the hell was that. It's on my phone. Oh, the GIM. The GIM sending me love notes. Yeah. The Peep Eater. I have to figure out how many chibis to buy amongst the new Adeptus Titania stuff. Yeah, I know. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Forge World just released the Psychic Warlord Titan for Titanicus. Ooh. Peep Eater. LOL. Are her guns big enough? Is that the joke? Is that the fucking joke they're trying to make? They gave her big guns because she's got big guns. Do you think that's the... Man, I've been spitting all over myself today. Do you think that's the joke they're trying to make? Maybe. But either way, because I mean, like she's supposed to be like the stealth suit, right? It's kind of like a stealth suit she's wearing, and like those, because it's like melta-guns, aren't they? It's a dual melta-gun she carries, and like those things are freaking huge. And I mean, like the model's pretty big, and the armor is pretty bulky, and then those guns are just like ridiculously huge. Or are they the same scale as like the rest of the battle suits? I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, Peep Eater. I need that Ordo Sinister Warlord. Ordo Sinister? So, anywho, yeah. So, I usually, I kind of just like, because usually when I'm doing the show, I get the notification that Games Workshop sends me that email saying, it's an email, and, but anyway. Peep Eater, although he won't play well with my Legio. What is that? Astenobax Titans? What is that word? How would you say that word? Astenobax? I don't even know how do you say that word? I don't know how you say that word. How do you say it? Please. Alrighty, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm getting hungry. I need something to eat. Sorry, I'm clicking things. I'm just clicking things at random here. You guys have no idea what I'm clicking. I'm clicking all sorts of stuff. I'm clicking stuff. Did everybody leave on Twitch? Yeah, everybody left on Twitch. I like that when sometimes I do these and sometimes I don't. Yeah, I can see the viewership just went. Like I said, all the plebs left. I can't believe it. Nobody who's been watching this show for any length of time doesn't hear this. Even if you're just listening to the show right to the very end and else you hear like I'm coming back on, like I don't know. Anyway, Let's go do something productive, people. Let's go get some work done. I'll talk to you guys later. That's all I got. I got nothing else. Unless I just sit here and stare at the camera for a bit. Oh, right. XFL started today. That's right. The XFL. Oh, how do you say it? Zestobiax? What? That doesn't make no sense. Zestobiax? Zestobiax? That's messing with me, man. That's messing with me. Alrighty. Go. Go do something. Jeez Louise. Go. 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 You're still here. Go. I'm not stopping the stream until I see 0 viewers. Till I see 0 viewers, I'm not stopping the stream. So go. You're still here. Go. What are you doing? Go take care of something, for God's sakes.